Hi, welcome back. This is Mac Jackson from Technology Review. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Mac Jackson Jr. You can also find me on YouTube, Twitter, and my website at macjacksonjr.com. I'm here with Lisa Detels. Yes. And from Graphic Imaging Services. I wanted her back because we're going to continue this conversation. Now we got the formalities in the first segment out of the way. This segment we're going to talk about cybersecurity, Lisa. You and I have known each other for years now.
Yes.
I can say that. And we've done speeches and stuff and talked to the public about cybersecurity. So give me your opinion about cybersecurity. How do you think it's going in our society right now? In Vegas, and is it a threat that people talking about, or are we just saying this?
I joke a lot. I say a lot of people go to the ostrich farm and they stick their head in the sand, and that's what I think a lot of people do until it hits them.
Yes.
Similar to people backing up their data, there's been some statistics out there that 93% of the people back up their data after they suffer a data loss. So I think that while we have things that are mandated by the business community about what we have to do,
right,
firewalls, things like that,
right,
I see it all the time where somebody emails their tax record or they send over some medical information without encryption. I mean, at any level, you have to start. You have to start protecting your own information. You can't just put it on everybody else.
Right, that's a very, very good point. So those of you listening, what Lisa's saying here is when you're communicating through the internet, through an email, and you have PI, personal identifiable information in an email, social security number, anything that can identify that individual, you transmit it from point A to point B, there's a lot of things that can happen in the middle of that transmission, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so think of this, folks. Point A to point B, in the middle, we call it a man in the middle, right? You can get hacked that way where your data goes through to your recipient, but as it's going there are people reading your emails. Just look at our last presidential election, folks. All that's happened, right? Reading your emails. So you have to have certain types of encryption. Do you think that's where it's going to be like a mandating thing where we have to have encrypted emails or some sort of communication that encrypts our data?
I think that it's one layer. I mean, I have a friend who was a police officer, and as I look at our physical security, she kind of taught me a few things that we do layers.
Yeah.
So we have gates and little things like putting cactus up in front of the window to keep people out, keep those situations. I think we have to do layers with our data.
Interesting.
It can be the encryption. It can be that you have your content secured, not just loose on your drive in a file structure, but actually in a document management system that actually has permissions and authorization and encryption.
Wow. That's true. So it's going to take what we're currently doing now in business, opening up a Word document and just making some changes to it to a more sophisticated way of communicating.
Well, exactly. Mm-hmm. So if you're still using just those simple tools of Microsoft Office,
sure,
but actually checking your records into a document management, that's a layer.
Yes, that is a layer.
And permissions to get into that document management will be another layer.
I'm thinking of SharePoint.
Exactly.
Using SharePoint, yeah. There's a company that has an add-on to SharePoint that gives you even more security, that can block certain users from seeing certain documents. And
it is. I mean, most document management programs that are, at least in the current technology portfolios today, you'll see have that. They have the ability to restrict users. So, for example, HR is a perfect example.
Yes.
Not everybody has access to HR records, nor should they, and not everybody within HR needs to have access to the entire record. The only way to do that complicated thing is to actually have a document management system.
Absolutely. HR, folks, it's huge. As a programmer and hacker myself, I'm telling you, hackers love to get into the HR department, because if you can hack into that system, you have access to thousands of records, not just the employees of the company, but the beneficiaries, meaning the children, having access to their social security number as well. So it's very, very important to do that. Is there any programs that you would recommend or you've used, or?
Well, in its simplest form, Adobe Professional actually has an encryption, so you can put a password on your documents.
Very good, very good.
All right. That at just a simple personal or small business level will help you in terms of doing that, so that when you do the emails and you send those PII type documents, definitely. I mean, I've seen CPAs that have hosted solutions, so you have to log on. They'll give you an invite, and then you can grab your data. That's another option. But still, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about, having it in the cloud because it's a public cloud.
Public cloud.
A public cloud could be Box, it could be Google Drive, so I really wouldn't store that kind of information there.
True. Yeah.
That's kind of, I just do preventative measures.
True. Well, so what do you think about two-tier authentication? And what that is, folks, is if you're sending a document to someone or sending someone information, and you log into a website, that's one tier. But if the website responds back to you on another device, like your phone with a code, they call it two-tier. So, can you imagine having your busy day working in your office and you have to use two ways of authenticating?
It's a deterrent. It's definitely a
deterrent. It will slow people down. So that's a lot of the complaints that I'm getting to in the emails. People are saying, what does that mean now? I'm going to have my phone next to my laptop and try to work back and forth because of these hackers,
That's why you get document management.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. A way to do it. Yeah, definitely a good way to protect it. Let's talk about passwords too when you're on your browser. So let's say you have a browser set up and you have tons of different passwords, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go to your website, you have your HR password, you have your payroll password, you have all the sites you go to and visit on social media. There are tons of different passwords that you have to remember, and user IDs. Usually we all have the same user ID as our email, but the passwords, so many people have the same password.
Right.
And there are companies that have password management systems.
Mm-hmm.
There's a program that I've been utilizing over the last few years called LastPass. Have you heard of LastPass?
I have.
LastPass is a great program, folks. So what it does is it stores within your browser, like your Chrome browser, even Firefox or Safari. But what it does is when you go to a website, it will remember your user ID and your password for you. Right? It's really nice. So you don't have to worry about two-tier authentication or any of that. All you do is have to worry about one password and one user ID, and it will remember all of them for you.
Well, I think it's a great tool, definitely, to do that. My trick has been to actually use phrases, a stream or a statement that you can always remember. With the number and special character in there.
Yes.
It makes it harder. So that's my trick.
That's very good, and Lisa's absolutely right. What she's saying, folks, is using a passphrase and not just a password. Because there is a database that I have seen just for a few seconds, and it kicked us out of the system on the darknet. But there's a database where it has a gazillion different combinations of words, of passwords. And what happens is when it pings servers to try to get through, it tests from that database.
Makes sense.
So it could take it 6 months or even a year to break into a system because it knows the user ID is probably admin.
Right.
So now it tests the password. And these systems don't shut down after so many attempts. They continue to let it try. So once it finds a word in this database, it says, aha, we are in now. But if you use a passphrase, and it could be anything, like you said, your favorite statement in the Bible or something that only your family knows and no one else knows.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then that will get it. Because think about it, folks. Nowadays, we have passwords that our family uses too for our home systems as well. And you need something that everybody can remember and not something, that's going to be difficult, right?
Right.
Right. So that... So the program is called LastPass. You want to check it out. It's called LastPass.com, LASTPASS.com. It's a great password management system. There's other ones that are out there you can use as well, but I like LastPass because in the office you can assign it to one of your associates, and they will have a link to a website that normally you would work with. Let's say it's your Federal Express account, and you have one of your associates going in to mail a package for you. They could do that without even knowing your password. And it can be timed. You get 30 minutes to take care of this.
That matters too, because then you don't have to reissue your password again.
Right, have to issue the password, and you don't have to give it to them. Because folks, I say it all the time on the show. If you take a piece of paper that's blank, has nothing on it, and you write on it your user ID and a password, you just created currency, folks.
Agreed.
You created currency. You created currency because that piece of paper, if someone were to take a picture of it over your shoulder or you lose it, they can sell information, have access to all of your data. So it's very, very important. You have procedures locked in your organizations, policies and procedures. And of course, you know where to go to get that. You contact me, MacJacksonJr.com. We can help you out with that. But Lisa, one more time, your company's name again?
Graphic Imaging Services, and we are located in Las Vegas at 1601 South Rainbow. My email is lisa01@graphicimaging.net.
Very good, Lisa. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll be right back, folks.